Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo, and I am going to show you how to get 2 million credits in 1 minute with the new sport mode time trial that has gone live on Gran Turismo 7. So you are driving in the Red Bull X2019 for this event, and it is at the new track Road Atlanta, which is an extremely tricky combination. So if you don't think you're going to be able to do the time required for the 2 million credits, you can also go for 1 million credits and 250,000 credits, which I'll show you now how to do that and where you go. So simply go into sport mode in the top right hand side of your screen, and when you access this menu, you'll then get another menu, which is the online time trial. Simply click the X2019 one there, and in front of you, you have the times that are required at the moment. Remember, this lasts for 14 days. There's just under 2 weeks left, and you have to be within 3% for the gold by the end of it, 5% for the 1 million for the silver, and 10% for the 250,000. So they've changed that and made it a little bit easier for you to get 10% within the 250,000 credit range. So everyone should be able to get that at least. So within 1 minute, everyone can get 250,000 credits simply by just doing this. So I'm going to go through a guide, show you how to do this, and get you the gold as much as I can. I'm going to give you as many tips as I can. This is a tricky combination, but I'm going to try and show you how to do it. So make sure you flat out through this turn 1 and going into turn 1. Now this turn 1 is completely flat. We are going to put no braking inputs in here. You're going to use a bit of the track width to on the left hand side of the tarmac there to widen your line in. Now just be careful, you try and get this car, you want to get this car into the apex, but I actually missed it a little bit, but you can get away with that. You can see I run a little bit wide, but we take enough of a line to be able to stay on that throttle all the way through. Lose a bit to the ghost there. Now for this corner, we're going to use this dotted white line, the first one you see, as a reference for where you're going to start getting on the brakes. So just past that, you are on the brakes. You can see the braking input going in nice and early. And now we're going to start slowing the car down, keeping the car to the left-hand tyre onto that curb, going down to 4th gear. And then before the end of the curb, we're going to start turning in. Now, you want to get your right-hand tyre fully on the curb, but the left-hand tyre, you almost want to keep just on the tarmac or that yellow line. It keeps the car smooth over the curb. If you're too aggressive there, car becomes unstable and you lose control of the car. So upshift to 5th gear, flat out all the way on this downhill section. You do not need to lift. I actually missed the apex again there, but the downforce in this car lets you get away with it. Now the MX-5 touring car line works with this car also, using the start of the curb as a reference where we're going to get onto the brakes. So just as we're coming to the start of the curb, braking inputs going on there, and you can get onto the grass here. You can really use the grass as a full width for track and widen the line in and give you a better angle through here, and that enables you to run a little bit wide there without picking up a penalty. So we're able to do that without picking up any penalty. And now we're going into the next braking zone. We are going to use the 300 board and brake just past that 300 board as a reference. So onto the brakes. Now this corner is very tricky actually. You've got to be careful on the throttle. So as you come through here, you can see we're turning in before the dotted line now, and we're going to try and get that right hand tyre as close to the apex as we can. But watch the throttle inputs. No throttle inputs yet. We're being very patient, and then the throttle comes in, and then as soon as the car straightened up, and you can see a little bit of a black line across the track there, onto the brakes before that, and downshift to 2nd gear. Don't go into 1st, downshift to 2nd gear, and then as we turn into the corner now, you can see you want to get the right hand tyre onto the curb, almost clipping the curb, and upshift to 3rd gear early. It just stabilizes the car a little bit, and then you can put the power down when the car's fully straightened up. One thing with this car is wait for the car to straighten up before putting that power down. You can't just put the power down when the car's at quite a steep angle, because you're just going to spin the rear and you're going to lose control of the car. Now we're going to come into the next braking zone, which we're going to use this shadow on the right hand side. So you see the shadow approaching there. That last shadow on the track uses your reference for your braking. So just as you're approaching it, you're going to get onto the brakes, and now we're going to work our way into this final chicane, which again, you can take advantage of some of the limits here. I didn't do as much as what I could have done. So turning in, you want to really get the car over the curb. Now I could have been a little bit more aggressive than what I was here. You can see trail braking all the way into the curb, and then when we're actually up to the curb, we're coming off the throttle and the brake to get all together. Let the car coast over it, and as soon as we're over it, onto that throttle, use the throttle to rotate the car a little bit, and then be cautious. Look at the throttle inputs. We're not going 100%. We're being very cautious on that exit there, just to build up the speed carefully with this car. It's very important you do that, and getting into 4th gear, then 5th gear, and then flat out all the way over the line. Don't go into 7th gear before the end of the lap, because you'll lose a bit of speed. Just stay in 6th gear. We go over the line with a 59.7, which is easily within the goal time at the moment, and should be by the end of the time trial. So Watch this lap again from the chase camera view. You can see using that bit of extra tarmac, ran a little bit wide there but got away with it. This was almost perfect through here though. You can see perfect line that just didn't destable, like it just kept the car nice and stable over that curb. If you're too aggressive there, you're going to lose a lot of time. But now watch this, look at the grass usage there. As long as that left hand tyre stays on that curb, the car will grip still. You just got to be careful, get used to doing it, practice it. You don't have to do that to get this goal time, but it will make it a lot easier. I gained 2 tenths by doing that on that single corner because of the exit speed you take out of the corner there. Again, through that right hand corner, you can see how that third gear shift, working our way onto this straight, just stabilizes the car a little bit. And now we're coming into that final chicane, which we could have been more aggressive on. You can see here, as we get the braking just on the start of that shadow, down to third gear, could have been a little bit more aggressive with the track limits, but played it quite safe because I knew I was on a solid lap. And we're going to go over the line for a pretty reasonable 59.7. Now, remember, if you can't get the gold time, the silver time is a lot more achievable, and that's still 1 million credits within 1 minute. And if you can't do that, I think everyone should be able to get 250 credits within 1 minute of doing this just to get a 105. I think the majority of people can do that. It's not a hard time to do at such a short track. So, yeah, 250 credits for basically just jumping on if you can't be bothered pushing the time trial. Very easy to get. 1 million shouldn't take you too long, and 2 million might require you some effort. So just depends on your level on this game and how much you're willing to put into it. But I hope this will help you out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if it does. We do these every single time these time trials are on, and hopefully it'll help you get some more credits in the game. Thanks again for watching, everyone.